There, my name is Michael Yoke. They call me Mr. Excellence. I've been in the business for 42 years in the business. Can you imagine? I stand here at 5'6" and 170 pounds, but when I came into the business, I was at 5'6", 136 pounds. Can you believe that? Time has gone by in these 42 years. And we're talking about today's topic is, have you thought about getting into real estate? It's very important to get into real estate because a lot of you know and you've seen people that have come into the business and then they tell you, hey, you know what? I didn't know, it wasn't for me, it didn't work out and all that. And they'll tell you a story that basically they weren't led by the right people. And guess what? It's so important because a lot of people will go ahead and not make it in the business if you're not guided the right way on that. So let me go ahead. I'm trying a second time here. I got Instagram on the right and I got Facebook on the left, and I see more activity on the Instagram. How to get your license. So let me start it out. My name is Michael Yoke. I'm with ExcellenceRE Real Estate. I've been in the business for 42 years, and I can tell you this business can absolutely change your life if you approach it the right way. You know what? I approached it a way that it made sense for me, and you know what? I went ahead and it's been 42 years that I've been going at it now. Can you imagine? I'm in the 10th grade, and in the 10th grade, my life science teacher, a 10th grader, maybe 16, 17 years of age, I don't know. He tells me, Miguel, with your personality, you can be one of the greatest real estate agents that ever lived. Think about that. He's telling a 10th grader that I could be that. And I said, well, how much money do they make? He says, well, they're on commission. And I didn't know what commission was. So I went ahead and said, no, I'm not interested in it. I'm going to go ahead and be a bank teller, get into the banking and all that. And you know what? I graduated through high school. That seed was planted. It was planted. And I'll tell you one thing. I went ahead and was at Jack in the Box, and I kept seeing people come through the drive-through, and finally I said, I gotta go ahead and do what Mr. Hufford told me. Now, Mr. Hufford was a life science teacher. He had a real estate company in Fountain Valley, so I'm sure he did it for the insurance and all that. So that's the way it was with Mr. Hufford. So then when I went in, I knew I had special gifts because I can handle the real estate. I can handle the Jack in the Box for about 5 to 10 minutes by myself. Can you imagine by myself? Everybody's on break. Everybody's gone. Hi, welcome to Jack in the Box. Can I take your order? Okay, that's a jumbo jack, a fry, and some tacos. Okay, put it in. Go to the fryer, drop the tacos in there, go ahead and put the hamburger, hit the timer, go over there. I knew I had 30 seconds. I went over there to charge them, go back, get the tacos out, the fries, flip the patty and all that, and be able, and then all of a sudden another car comes in, and guess what? You know what? Welcome to Jack in the Box. Can I help you? And you know what? I could do it for about 5 minutes, and then I would go crazy. But I knew I had special talents because I could do that. Most people couldn't do it. So it was one of the talents that I had. So today I'm going to break down exactly how to start a real estate career, even if you have zero experience, and how to position yourself to close your first deal. Can you imagine a kid that went ahead and said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and take my real estate test. Now, you got to bear in mind on this. Back in 1983, it wasn't like today. In 1983, being 19 years old, 136 pounds, guess what? Nobody took you serious. I remember, you know, I didn't know much, and I would start door knocking and door knocking and door knocking, and I get a listing appointment, and they would say, you know what, Mike, you're gonna be a great salesman, but this is our only equity. And they would list with a part-time agent, with somebody else, until I started getting a little bit savvy. And I remember the broker, his name was Paul Liebig, and Paul Liebig would like to go to the horse races. So every time you saw him with the horse races, the newspaper, the whole thing. And I remember one time saying, Mr. Paul, you know what, I want you to, you know, I'm going to a listing appointment. Can you go with me and I'll give you $10? Now, $10 was about $50 today. Okay, just sit there and tell him you're going to train me. And we would go in there, this is Paul Liebig, he's my broker, and he says, I'm going to train him, so I'm just going to look at him. I'll be watching the newspaper as I do that. And then Michael Yoke would go ahead and make the decision. I get the listing, and guess what? All of a sudden, we go ahead and we get the listing. Now, at 20 years old, when you put up a listing and people see it in the neighborhood and you say, hey, I listed that house, you get credibility instantly. And then next you know, I got another one. Next you know, I had 5 listings. And Mr. Paul Liebig, I didn't need him anymore, so he wasn't making the $10. But you know what? All of a sudden, that's how I started my career and started making it out there on that. But let me share a story. But before I share the story, let me go ahead and say, why real estate? Unlimited income potential. You know what? If you come into real estate, you know, the income. Hey, JD, hold on. JD. Hold on one second. So anyways, unlimited income potential, flexible schedule, ability to build wealth and legacy, and help families achieve home ownership. You know what? I'm live right here, and I really don't have a plan, but I'm going GG. So you know, instead of using my phone, no intercom, hopefully she'll come and all that, and that way I can show you guys some things that'll make you guys excited. So what does it cost to get into real estate? It costs $600. $600. A lot of time people will go ahead and say, you know what, the next round of drinks are on me, and all of a sudden, bam, 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 and you know what, you know, you spend it at Starbucks and all that, and you know what, you got a potential to go ahead. JD, tell Jacqueline or Gigi, give me the 2 commissions, Gabriela close, at least the stubs. Yeah. So all of a sudden now you're out there and you're hustling and you're letting the people know. You know, there's a lady named Gabriela Ruiz. She's 73 years old. I should say 73 years young. She's been a top producer for 43 years. 43 years. And she walks a lot. She talks to the people. She farms and everything. This lady at 73, she walks a couple miles a day, just letting the people know that, hey, she's still here. If you need my service, she's still here. If you need my service. And you know what? And I'm going to honor Gabriela for 43 years of being a top producer, closing 20, 25, 30 deals on that. And right now, when I walked in, right before I went live, I went ahead and I saw a commission that Gabriela did, and I want to share it with you guys. Let me see what people are saying. Jose Marquez says, our fearless leader. Yes, thank you. Okay, so all of a sudden, so Gabriela moves forward. She offers her service. She says, you know what, if you're ever thinking of buying or selling, but she's very consistent. And you know what, today, let me show you what she listed a house and she double-ended it. This is the stubs. What is double-ended? She went ahead and represented the buyer and the seller. And this is the commission she brought in. $21,500 twice. So she got a commission of two for $43,000 that we're going to pay her cut on that. And it was a property $1,075,000, and she was a dual agent. So can you imagine right now, Gabriela's going to get a check about 40 grand. And 40 grand to put in her bank statement. She's 73 years old. She has her routine and all that. And here I am offering you guys a chance to go ahead and get your license. And it's only $600 to go ahead and get the ball rolling. But you got to make sure that you go ahead and you come to the right place. So, because we'll go ahead and hire you. Let me share a little story here. Because I only got 40 minutes with you guys, and right now on Facebook I only see 81 people logged on Instagram. I don't know, but I'm getting better at it. So all of a sudden, during the time that I decided to become a real estate agent, back in the day, in the 70s, people worked real estate part-time because they never thought somebody could make a great living out of it. So it was the gold rush when I came in. Rates had come down from 21% to go down to about 13.5 fixed, 11% adjustable. And you know what? And here's what happened. I went and signed up in class with 100 other people. And you know what? We went ahead and in the brace, we would all talk to each other. Hey, what are you going to do with real estate? I'm going to buy property. I'm going to buy a dream home. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to buy that. I'm going to travel the world. The dreams were big, huge. The payphones were lined up. People putting quarters in. Honey, we're going to travel the world. We're going to travel everywhere. I'm getting my real estate. I'm going to study very, very hard so that way you don't have to work. And those were the topics. 100 of us, we took the test. I got a 33%. 33%. I said, man, I'm still a terrible student. Almost everybody passed and everybody moved. I went to Mr. Wick and I said, Mr. Wick, the professor, I says, can I take the class again? And he said, okay. So I came with another 100 people. The same story. Everybody had a dream. Everybody's going to make it huge. They all passed. I got a 64%. 64%. And I said, man, can I take the class one more time? Yes. He wasn't charging me the second and third time. He just says, you know what? If somebody doesn't show up, just take a seat there. And because somebody always calls in sick or something. And I went ahead and took it. The third time I passed. And I got to meet 300 people. I remember meeting a guy that played in Boulevard Nights, the one that played Big Happy. He sat next to me on that, wanted the dream of real estate also. And a lot of people that, names that I knew. Well, guess what? After the first year, the first 100 agents were gone. They were gone. I didn't hear from them anymore. By the second year, another 100 were gone. By the third and fourth year, it was crickets. Everybody was gone except Mr. Michael Yoke. I was the only one that made it from that class of 300. They all came in. Real estate wasn't for me. Real estate wasn't for that and all that. And you know what? I didn't know, but I knew I was going to make it because Mr. Hufford said, he planted a seed saying that with my personality, I can be the best, one of the best leaders that ever lived in real estate. And I did. I was one of the biggest in the Century 21 system with 18 offices. I got as high as 75 offices under Excellence with 1,100 agents. I became that person that he went ahead and said I could be. And I'm telling you guys, you invest $600 and you let us mentor you the right way. If all those people, I could tell you this, if all those 300 people, if they were taking the class again and they all came and worked for me and I went ahead and showed them what to do to make a living, they would have 90% would have still been in real estate. But it wasn't. It was the blind leading the blind. Remember, in most offices, if you're a non-producer, they make you a manager. Can you imagine? I'm a non-producer. I can't sell houses. I can't do anything. But you know what? I can tell people what to do. So I'm going to make you a manager. You do as I say, not as I did, on that. And all of a sudden, it's the blind leading the blind. A lot of the stuff, and if you get your license, I have a lady, Laura, that took her 15 times to go ahead and get her license on that. And all of a sudden, once you pass it, that's it. It doesn't matter if it took you 100 times, 3 times, 4 times. Nobody ever asks. I'm just telling you guys so you know that, hey, you know what? It's attainable. So then all of a sudden, now you can make money. If you're a part-time agent, bingo, put it on top of your income. If you're a full-time, boom, whatever it is, you always put it on top of what you're making. And again, I showed you Gabriela's checks today, two-sided one, $21,500 each side. On that, she's 73 years old. And you know what? She doesn't have no fear, but she's very consistent. And she's been consistent for 43 years. In 43 years, she's been a top producer. She's been with me about 7 years here. And you know what? She's been a top producer. When I started and then I went to go work at that office, I was number 105 and she was a number 2 agent when she barely came in. And you know what? And I can't go and talk to Gabriela because I was a nobody. And now she's working here with the Excellence organization. She's happy as can be. You know what? I found my calling. And now my job is to make winners out of you. I can make a winner out of you, but you got to sign up. $600. You can text me at 562-695-1956 and say, Mr. Excellence, I want to sign up. Okay, great. On that, and then we can make it happen on that. Training and mentorship matters more than commission splits. Culture and support system, accountability. Can you imagine? You be learning everything. You be not doing all the mistakes Michael Yoka did that he did to go ahead and make it. One of our agents, she went to the board, a board of 5,000 agents. And she got number 1. Can you imagine? She outsold everybody. In the first quarter of this year. She closed 20 transactions. And you know what? She was number 1 in the board out of 5,000 people. And she's with ExcellenceRealEstate. And she's been in the business 6 years. Can you imagine? How does a lady come in with 6 years only and beat the shit out of everybody? So you know what? So sometimes if you're with the right person, with the right leadership, then you know what? You got a chance. You got a better chance than to go to a huge office and just be a revolving door. Hey, another 5 left, but 5 came in. Another 10 left, but 10 came in. But when they leave shattered with their dreams saying real estate wasn't for me. And it's not true. I'm here to tell you, I've lived a great life. I drive a Bentley. I'm well dressed. I live in a mansion. I have a business. I go out there and I live a great life. I went to 2 World Cups. 2 World Cups in a row, to Qatar and to Russia. I traveled all over the world and all that. And you know what? I couldn't do that on a fixed income. So I want to offer you guys the same thing, to go ahead and get your license so that way you can succeed. Let me see how many people are watching here on Facebook. And on Facebook it shows 105. In Instagram, since I don't know it, there's a lot of people logged on. And you know what? I'll see it after, see how it works on that. But you know what? That's where I'm at. So if you want to get your real estate license, you call me at 562-695-1956. If you've been in real estate and you haven't been able to make it, then you know what? Give me a shot at that title. You know what? I'll go ahead and help you. I'll tweak you. I'll reformat you, and I'll make you a top producer. You know, Vicky made $1.2 million last year. Gabriela did about $500,000, $1 million for Mr. Josue Ramon, and Liliana also. You know, my top 10 agents, I could tell you this, my top 10 agents, they're all foreign born. They're all foreign born, and they come in here, they follow the system, and you know what, and they make a lot of money. Let me help you guys. You know, people ask me, Mike, were you born here in the United States? Because you don't speak with an accent. And I says, you know what? They brought me at 4.5 years old. So this owner here is also foreign owned that has developed the Excellence organization. But I'm here for everybody that wants to do it, whether you were born here, whether you weren't born here, that says, you know what? Tengo las ganas to make it great. You know, when you guys get tired, I remember one time I was working and I was struggling, and then all of a sudden I says, ya me cansé de ser pobre. Ya me cansé. And I started doing the activities that I had to be done, and you know what? I went straight to the top. Thank God on that, and you know what? I've never looked back. So if I can get you guys to do a percentage, think about it. If Gabriela, in 365 days, if Gabriela meets 10 people that want to buy or sell through her, she's going to make over $200,000. How much study do I have to do to make 200 grand? How much? You know, think about it. 200 grand. If she does 20 people, that's 400 grand. You get 40 people, that's 800 grand. You make it to 60, you get $1 million. Can you imagine to make $1 million? How would your life change if you made $1 million? What would you do? Would your ego get bigger? Or would you go ahead and start making some great investments out there that you can do? Let me see. In Facebook, I see 116 people. Not a lot of comments and all that on that. And but you know what? It's okay. And I've been on for about 22 minutes, so I got a couple more minutes going on that. Remember, when I decided to come into real estate, 2 guys came before me and they said, Miguel, we hear you want to go into real estate. I said, I do. And then they says, don't go into it. It's not what it's cut out to be. We just did it for a year and we're going to go study. Go study. And I could have listened to them. The problem is I wasn't a good studier. So I said, well, let me go in there and give it a shot. Once I got my license, they said, hey, welcome to real estate. You got 1984. You probably have only 6 years because computers are going to take over in 6 years and you're going to be out of a job. And I looked to a couple of people to the left, to the right, says, well, you know what? I can go 6 years at Jack in the Box, or I can go in real estate, you know, keep going. And guess what? It's 42 years now. 42 years, and we'll probably, as long as people have a heart, they're always going to want a hug, they're always going to want a handshake, they're always going to want to go ahead and be the best that they can be. So other than that, is there any questions that anybody has? Because you know what? Real estate is the best thing that you can get in. And I'll tell you one thing. You know, I love, today I was getting air on my Bentley, and I got out while they were putting the air, and he saw me and he says, hey, you know what? I like that suit. Somebody that was driving by. Are you a pastor? I go, no, I'm a real estate broker. I'm at the airport and they'll say, hey, are you an attorney? No, I'm a real estate broker. Hey, you know what? Are you a celebrity? Are you this? Are you that? And then when you drive a Bentley, that's not around too much, everybody goes, what do you do? Boom, boom, boom. So, you know, sometimes if you do things right, it can feed your ego, but I kind of got used to it, so the ego doesn't get fed too much. Complete required courses, 3 courses minimum. Pass the exam, choose a brokerage. Hopefully you'll choose me, and the rest will be writing history for yourself. Okay. You are now self-employed. Create a schedule, track your numbers, invest in yourselves. That's you got 365 days to meet 10 people that want to like you. So you either build a little system that they'll call you, or you're going to be out of the business pretty soon on that. So think about that. What has changed from back then till now? The only thing that's changed is computers, internet on that. But the people are still out there. We sign stuff, we see, we make people comfortable. We go out there and fulfill the American dream. So if you want to fulfill the American dream and sell the American dream, you need to text me at 562-695-1956 and say, Mr. Excellence, Mr. Mike, Mr. Miguel, you know what? Please sign me up for the course. $600. If you need a payment plan, in 2 payments, we'll do whatever it takes. The thing is let's finish with poverty. All I hear, my parents came from Mexico and they picked strawberries. So my family and all the family around and everybody, a lot of times, are you going to go here? No hay feria. There's no money. Are you going to go over here? No hay feria. No hay feria. No hay feria. You know what? I got tired of not having feria, that I says, you know what? I got to go out there and make a great living. And I did. 42 years later, I was 20 years old. I thought I was going to live forever. And now I'm 62. And now I look at the end. I'm at the end of my rope. If God gives me another 20 years, that'll take me to 82. And my time is coming to an end. So how do I handle this thing? Work a little bit less, travel more, but start inspiring people. Because when I'm gone, I want you guys to someday become top producers bigger than me and say, hey, you know what? Michael Yoka, Mr. Excellence, mentor me. And you know what? Just like I didn't let Mr. Huffer down, who said I would do good, you guys are not going to let me down. So let me go ahead and close it up. I'm going to have a seat right now. I'm going to hit refresh over here. I have 139 people on Facebook, and who knows how many people I have over here. Now, I'm going to go, Corina. See, I have a deep voice, so they come. Hey, how did we finish the Instagram? Because I don't know how to, I don't know. I'm going to go ahead. Charlie, get over here. Mr. Excellence is having drama here. Okay, I'm going to finish here in Facebook. In Facebook right here, we're going to go ahead and finish it. I already know. Charlie, you're a young guy, so you know more about Instagram. I'm live right now. How do I stop the video here?
So we're going to
go to live, okay, just like that.
Which wants to save it?
Share.
Okay. I think that's just sharing.
Come on, is Instagram that hard?
I don't know. I never shared.
Give me somebody that has Instagram right here. I'll keep talking just to hold the people up and say, hey, you know what? Mr. Excellence is not a... Manny, are you an Instagram guy?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm live right now talking real estate. Manny, show me how to finish this video and save it so the last time it got erased.
Yeah, we don't want
Okay, right there. You hit 2.
No, that's to send.
Okay.
That's request to join right here.
Right there.
Hold it if you need to.
You're trying to just sign out, right?
Just sign
out.
out.
Just hit the X right there.
The X?
Yeah.
That one in my video?
It's going to save out, yeah.
But he wants to save the video. It didn't save yet.
And now, okay.